Hello once again, ninthers, and wishing you all very good morning, a very good afternoon, or a very good evening based on the time in which you'll be watching the video. Hoping you all are doing well and fine along with members of your families. Also, hoping that you all are keeping yourself busy and exploring new opportunities, exploring new habits, exploring, cultivating good habits and getting to know yourself, exploring new passions and ambitions and also hobbies. So, moving forward, we were talking about the importance of the various components of the atmosphere. Now, let us talk of the structure of the atmosphere. By structure of the atmosphere, we will be talking about how the atmosphere is, or what are the different components of the atmosphere and how they are actually placed in the atmosphere. So, when we talk of the structure of the atmosphere, as you can see over here, we have the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and the exospheres. These are the different layers of the atmosphere. And the lowest layer, or the one which is in contact with the ground, is the troposphere. Most of the activities which is related to weather phenomenon or the climatic phenomenon, it takes place in this troposphere. Next comes the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and the last one is the exosphere. Now, let us talk about the troposphere. The troposphere is the lowest layer of the atmosphere, so it is nearest to the Earth surface in which we live. The term troposphere has been derived from the Greek word tropos, which means mixing or turbulence. Why? What mixing or what turbulence? Mixing here is the mixing of the different gases and the various components of the atmosphere. And turbulence. Turbulence means shaking, or not staying in a fixed position or in a proper position. So why is there turbulence? Turbulence is here because there are different weather phenomena going over here, going taking place in this troposphere. There's the formation of precipitation. There's for falling down of precipitation. Then there is formation of the clouds, the different other movement of the winds, the different planetary winds, and those things are taking place in this troposphere. So this is a region of turbulence or of disturbance. Next, we see over here most of the weather phenomena like the formation of clouds, fog, frost, blowing of winds, storm, thunder, lightning, and rain that affect our life takes place within the troposphere. This layer contains almost all the water vapor and most of the dust particles. Why? Because these are heavy particles, so they are in the lower ranges of the atmosphere. Comes here physics. The heavier particles are more denser, that is why they are in the lowest rungs. Water vapor condenses into cloud and fog. Excessive condensation may result in precipitation. The dust particles serve as condensation nuclei. We had talked about this. So, the dust particles actually help in the formation of rain droplets, bigger droplets. There is one drop dust particle, and over it from all the direction, the small droplets of water come and join and sit on it and forms a bigger droplet. So, horizontal and vertical air circulation leads to air turbulence and makes troposphere a region of intense mixing. So, there is a wind, the up and down of the wind. Why? Because the lower layers of the atmosphere get heated up high, and that is why when the air gets heated up, which is in contact with this with the surface of the air, what actually happens is that the wind, you all know, anything which gets heated up rises up. So this hot air rises up, starts rising up, and as it rises up, the colder air settles down. So there is a vertical mixing and also there is horizontal movement of wind. So these two different kinds of mixing makes troposphere a region of mixing. 90% of the atmosphere total mass is found within this layer, so this is the densest layer of the atmosphere. Next, we come to the troposphere. So, but then one thing is to be kept in mind. As we start moving up, the temperature starts falling down. This is called the lapse rate. So the lapse rate is somewhere around 6 degrees Celsius per kilometer. So as we move 1 kilometer 6 degree, there's a 6 degree fall in the temperature. But then as the you all know, or you all should think that as we start moving up, the temperature should keep on falling. It does keep on falling. As we move up in the troposphere, it falls. But in the stratosphere, the temperature again rises up. Why is it so? The temperature rises up because of the presence of the ozone layer, which captures or which traps a lot of the ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays are rays containing a lot of heat energy, and that is why the ozone layer is a very hot layer. Next, when we are talking of the troposphere, let us come to the troposphere. So this troposphere actually, okay, so the two other points of the troposphere remain. The height of the troposphere varies from place to place and season to season. On an average, it extends up to a height of 18 km at the equator and declines gradually to a height of 8 km at the poles. So the troposphere is not equal all around. Near the equator, it is higher and it extends to a higher height, and in the poles, it is not so. Why? Because it has to deal with Earth's magnetism and also the gravitational pull of the Earth. The temperature in this layer decreases with increase in height at the rate of 1 degree for 165 meters or 6.4 degree per kilometer. This is called the normal lapse rate. Upper limit of the troposphere is called the tropopause. At the tropopause, the temperature stops decreasing. I told you why. Because as we move up into the stratosphere, what starts happening is that because the stratosphere contains the ozone layer, and the ozone layer is capturing or trapping a lot of heat energy in the form of the ultraviolet rays. That is why this temperature of the stratosphere increases instead of decreasing. So let us talk of this stratosphere. Now, the stratosphere extends from the troposphere to about 50 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. You do not have to keep in mind about these kilometers, but just keep in mind the different layers and their order. In the stratosphere, the temperature does not increase with the altitude as it does in the troposphere. So this we understood why. This layer has no water vapor and dust particles, so generally it is a tranquil zone. So it is a quiet zone. Why? Because water vapor is not there, dust particles not there, so no formation of clouds, precipitation, or rain. And the temperature is relatively constant. Clouds do not form, and large convectional currents are absent. Convectional current we talked about as convectional currents are the currents formed due to the heating of the surface, and as the hot air starts moving up and colder air moves down. So this is the convection current which we are talking of. So this is absent in the stratosphere. Clouds do not form so well. It provides ideal flying conditions for jet aircraft. So this is why jet aircrafts or planes they fly in this stratosphere. Why? Because this is a turbulence-free zone. There is not a lot of mixing. So you must have seen when you are flying in an airplane, as it starts moving up in the troposphere, there is a lot of vibration and turbulence. But after it keeps on rising steadily up to a height, as it reaches the stratosphere, what happens is that they have or as you start moving higher up, what happens is that there is or the aeroplane becomes or comes in a condition of calmness, and there is not much turbulence there. At higher levels, the temperature increases with height due to the absorption of the ultraviolet radiation of the sun by ozone present in this layer. The temperature slowly increases to 4 degrees Celsius. At about 50 kilometer, the temperature starts falling again. And well, over here, there's the at about 50 kilometers, the temperature again starts falling because we are now moving away from the stratosphere. This marks the end of the stratosphere, and this is called the stratopause. So we have a pause after every layer. Next comes the mesosphere. The mesosphere lies above the stratosphere. It extends to a height of 80 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. This layer, the temperature decreases again. So in the stratosphere, it rises, troposphere, it falls, stratosphere, it rises, again in the mesosphere, it starts falling down again. And it is one of the coldest layers of the atmosphere, with temperatures falling as low as minus 90 degrees Celsius. Mesosphere has the coldest temperatures in the atmosphere. The temperature falls to about minus 100 degree at the upper limit of the mesosphere, which is known as the mesopause. Now, this thermosphere or the ionosphere. So this is one part, the thermosphere and ionosphere and the exosphere. So we'll be talking about this in the next video lecture, because this involves something of physics, and there's the aurora borealis and the aurora australis, that is northern lights and the southern lights. So we'll be talking about this in the next video lecture, but then please keep on studying, keep on enjoying, and keep on staying busy or keeping busy with yourself and with your family members. Till then, take care, stay happy, and stay well. Thank you.